I got diagnosed with ADHD, moderate to severe, about a month ago now. It took a couple of weeks for them to write up the diagnosis and also what we discussed so that my GP can go over it with me. But basically, I got like a 7-page spread, and typical ADHD fashion was like, this is too overwhelming. I can't read all of this. And I kind of just skipped and skimmed over it. But yeah, moderate to severe ADHD, has given advice, talked about the fact that she says I've got binge eating disorder. And I think that as well. Like, I think my main issue in life that I've battled with hugely is binge eating disorder, where I will just eat and eat and eat, have horrific self-talk about how awful I feel, and then I'll just do it again, and then I'll like not eat in the day because I'll be like, I don't want to eat because I've ate so many calories yesterday and blah blah blah. But anyway, she's done a referral and I've got an appointment with the GP. So I am just about to go to my GP appointment to discuss the referral letter. It's a bit of a shame because the doctor who I'd booked in with initially doesn't have any appointments for like 2 months, which is insane. So I'm booking in with another person who was the one that told me to go on antidepressants for my PMS, cyclical antidepressants for my PMS. So I'm going to go and see him. I'll let you know how I get on and what he says, what the suggestions are, what we discuss. And I think that I am going to get medication. I think that the medications that she's suggested, which I will talk to more in depth when I have it in front of me, I do think like I can take them intermittently, so I don't have to take them every day. I can take them if I want to be more productive, or if I've got a stressful or busy day, or if I'm feeling overwhelmed. So she suggested Ritalin, and there was another type. So I'm going to speak to the doctor, let you know what they say, and of course I'm going to document my journey, how I'm feeling, what it feels like. And I think because at the minute, if you've been following me and you've followed me on Instagram and everything, I'm in a real like transitional period where I've given up my job, I've given up my house, I've given up everything that is normal and routine to me. And I think that is exacerbating the binge eating. And I also think that's exacerbating the overwhelm, because I don't have my usual home, I don't have my usual gym routine, I don't have my usual eating routine. And I have found with working with my counsellor Jo that actually if I have more structure, my ADHD symptoms are nowhere near as bad. And because I've been so overwhelmingly busy moving out, going away, and I'm not saying that those are bad things, these are all amazing things, and I'm very, very grateful for my life. But that has, all of those busynesses have stopped me doing my mindfulness practice. And last night, I was like, okay, do you know what? Why am I not doing it? Why am I not prioritizing my needs and what I need to do over other things that aren't as important? So last night I journaled, which actually felt good, and I feel good today. I didn't sleep great last night, but I think that my back's hurting, and I think that might be why. But I journaled. I didn't do a meditation, but I will get back onto my meditations. I think Dubai is going to be great for that, because I'm going to be in one spot for several weeks. I'm hoping that will give me more routine. I'm going to find a gym. I'm going to get back into my mindfulness practice. But I do believe that mindfulness practice and structure hugely benefit my ADHD symptoms. So yes, let's see how this GP appointment goes, and I will get back to you. So I have just come out of my GP appointment. Basically, so yeah, I thought I would get the medication straight away, naively, but I've had some blood tests done, I've had an ECG. Often with the medication that potentially will be going on, it can cause different health problems, arrhythmia, problems with your heart. I'm generally fit and healthy, as in go to the gym and have good blood pressure and all of those things. So they checked all of those, they checked my weight. In terms of the binge eating, the specialist that I spoke to who diagnosed me, and the GP that I'm working with, basically they need to keep an eye on my weight, because the medication that I go on can see what I thought that it was going to suppress my appetite, which yes, it does do, but it can also exacerbate the binging, because what happens is you can take the medication it can suppress your appetite. You then don't eat because you're not hungry, and then you binge later on when the medication's kind of wearing off, which is what I kind of got from what he said, I think, anyway. And I was like, oh no, I didn't ever think that it was going to exacerbate the problem. And I feel a bit like felt really upset in the appointment, because I thought, I was really hoping that the medication was going to help with that. And I'm not saying it won't, but I just have to get this eating and fluctuation of being up and down with what I'm eating under control before I have a child. I really don't want to pass my habits on to my children. And I know that might seem really silly and it's really out of the way, but to me, this has been going on since I've been like 8 years old or something. I've done this. It's a recurrent theme throughout my life. Binge, put on weight, lose weight, put on weight, lose weight. I never really get overweight. I'm always still within the norm. But yeah, so basically had all of my bloods done, had an ECG. The doctor then, in a couple of weeks' time, they basically have to apply for a permit to be able to give me the medication because it's a stimulant. So it's like a controlled drug. So I have to wait for them to be able to be granted permission, and then they will contact me. So I was hoping I could have it to go away with when I was in Dubai, because I'm going to be away for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever, depending on whether I go to Bali or not straight away after. So I'm a bit disappointed that I don't have it now, but it's fine. I've lasted all of this time without it. And I think that everything happens for a reason. And I'm really hoping that that Dubai, when I go to Dubai, I'm able to rest more, take some time out for me, do some more mindfulness practice, get back onto my journaling and meditation, and that will help my ADHD symptoms and hopefully help with other things, and then potentially start the medication. So when I actually go onto the medication, I will let you know how I get on. And he's basically going to call me with all of my blood results. He's checking my iron levels, my thyroid, my cholesterol, all of those type things, just my general health and well-being as like a baseline, as well as my weight. But yeah, like anorexia and bulimia and different eating disorders can be linked to taking stimulants. And because she thinks I've got binge eating disorder, which I do think I've probably got, to be honest. Just sometimes I'm able to control it, but then pre-period, like a week pre-period, I'm unable to control it. And like, I can't tell you how awful the negative self-talk is about what I look like. Like, I got on the scales and I weigh more than what I do at home. And I was like, oh no, why have I done that? And then like I feel really bad for eating shit. And I'm like, why have I done that to myself? And then I just like, then I look in the mirror and I'm like pointing out all of these. I'm like, oh, this looks fat and that looks not very nice. And it really upsets me that I talk about myself like that, because I don't know why. And then other times, like in a week's time, right, I'll look in the mirror and go, oh, I feel really good. Like I feel really good. But then and then I look at other people who can like have stable eating, and I'm just like, I really want to get to that point where I can just have like stability and not be tired or feeling stressed. So eat. And then like this reoccurring eating, feeling guilty, shaming myself, not eating, restricting, going obsessive, and then just this constant like cycle is really exhausting and tiring. And like people, obviously, because I'm on Instagram and whatnot, will have an opinion when I say anything. They'll go, oh, you look good, like I think you look slim, I think you look like that. And like that's all good and well, but that doesn't change how I feel about myself and how, yeah, what my views of myself are. And I'm not saying that I don't feel ever sexy or good or slim or anything. And it's probably just because I'm on my period that I feel a bit more emotional than I normally would. But it can be quite draining. Yeah, I don't know how anyone else feels about it, but it can be quite draining and really, really overwhelming. And it's really weird because I'll be sat on the sofa and I can't even concentrate on a conversation sometimes with someone or the TV, because I'll be like, I need to get some chocolate, I need to get some chocolate, I need to go and get something from the fridge, I'm gonna have to go and get something, I need to get something, I really need to get something, and then I'm like, oh, and then I impulsively get up and go and get it, and I eat really quickly and like ram it all down, and then I go, why did I do that? Why did I do that? You're now going to have to do this, and you're going to have to get better, and you're going to have to do this, and this is what you've done, and now you're really bloated, and you're not going to fit in your clothes that you've got, and blah, 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 and it's just like that. And that is like a repeat cycle over and over again. So anyway, stop banging on about that. But that's where I'm at. Waiting for medication. He's going to discuss how I can take the medication. Some medications you can take every day, several times a day, depending on whether they're slow release or long release. Some medication you can take during the week if you need to be more productive and you don't have to take it on a weekend. So I will give you an update, but that's my update so far. That's where I'm at. Although I got a bit teary, I feel fine. I am extremely overwhelmed at the minute, and I haven't got any structure, which is hurting my brain. But we're getting there, and my sleep is really disrupted at the minute. I've noticed that my sleep, and that's something that I always notice when I feel a bit stressed or unintentionally stressed, because I don't feel like I'm a very stressy person, but I think that there's an underlying high cortisol stress hormone going on, and that then affects my sleep. Because when I used to do exams, when I used to be at university, when I used to have any type of scenario that might be quite stressful, it would then affect my sleep, and I've noticed over the last few weeks my sleep has been disrupted. So yes, that's where I'm at. If you've got any questions that you want to ask, please message me, comment, and I'll try and help where I can, and of course take you along the journey with me. But I've rattled on for ages, enough right now, and I'll get back to you soon.